Dear learners, welcome to the presentation. I am Ms. Aathirai Nallaal, Assistant Professor from Department of English SF, Nallaal College for Women, Coimbatore. Today's presentation is about the poem Apocalypse by Emily Dickinson. This presentation will cover its introduction, analysis, and various themes explored in it.
Let's get into the poem Apocalypse by Emily Dickinson. This poem is taken from the book The Poems of Emily Dickinson, Series 1. It was posthumously published in the year 1890 by T.W. Higginson and M.L. Todd. The title of the poem Apocalypse refers to the end or destruction of the world. Let's see what kind of end the poet is speaking about in this poem. The first stanza goes like, I am wife, I have finished that other state. I am Tsar, I am woman now, it's safer so. So the first phrase, I am wife, indicates that the poet is a married woman. She mentions that she have finished the other state, which is the spinster phase. The term Tsar refers to Russian emperor. So here the poet expresses that she feels like an emperor as she is a married woman now. She also feels safer after getting married. From this line, it is evident that women in the 19th century are expected to get married for the sake of their safety. Moving on to the second stanza. How odd the girl's life looks behind the soft eclipse. In these lines, the poet reflects on the transition of her life from being a spinster to a wife. In the last line of the previous stanza, she feels safer to be a wife. But contradicting to that, here the poet compares her life with an eclipse, which indicates women's lives are eclipsed behind the shade of men. The next two lines, I think that earth seems so to those in heaven now, reflects the regrets that people in heaven has on leaving the earth. Moving on to the third stanza. This being comfort, then the other kind was pain. But why compare? I am wife. Stop there. Here the poet contemplates that being a wife under someone is comfort, where the spinsterhood was not. The last two lines of the poem can be interpreted that the poet expresses either contentment or frustration. Analyzing its structure, it is a poem with 3 stanzas written in the form of quatrains, and the rhyme scheme of the poem is found irregular. The meters used here are iambic trimeter and iambic dimeter. Let's get into the list of literary devices used in this poem. The most widely employed literary device in this poem is alliteration. Alliteration is nothing but the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of consecutive or closely connected words. For example, life looks, safer so, seems so. The next literary device found in this poem is enjambment. Enjambment is nothing but continuation of a sentence or phrase from one line of the poetry to the next. We can find this device in the second stanza of the poem, which goes like, I think that earth seems so to those in heaven now. Another literary device found in this poem is allusion, which is nothing but a term or phrase that refers to something indirectly. For example, other state, soft eclipse, other kind, etc. The poem explores various themes like identity of the self, womanhood, transition of life in different stages, and the 19th century society.
Hope you find this presentation informative.